game. It's going to be safe versus Bomber. Time waits for no man, Wolf.
No man.
Legend doesn't either. All right. Bottom left part of apparently Crossfire. We're on. It is NSOSO Sage in the red. Why don't we just put it ×2, then we can get through the game. All right, at the top right part of the map, in the blue, we have our blue Terran player from StarTale. It is StarTale Bomber. So our TVP. We have got such an interesting group of players for this group. This is very cool. I'm so glad I get to cast this group because all the games so far have been really entertaining.
Yeah, you know, even when we have those flop games like last game, there's like something
still
to be said. You know, there's something to be said there. It's like, well, we know that doesn't really work in this case.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, check that down on your little build order notebook. You're like, note to self. Yeah. So what is Bomber going to do in this game? I mean, looks like he's going to go for the 1 Rax gases expand.
Basically,
14 supply, no refinery yet.
Basically,
never mind. He is making refinery. It's late though.
Yeah,
it's
just
14.
a little bit late. 14 refinery.
That's a big deal. That actually
both of us, man.
That actually messes you up a lot. If your refinery is late like that, that's going to make your tech lab late on your barracks if you're going to do that. Maybe he's planning on making 2 Marines before he does anything with that. But in general, it's just kind of a hassle.
Does see the second barracks.
Yep. It's pretty common.
Going to be a 2 Rax expand. I think on this map, it's fairly easy for the Terran to do a fast expand in this matchup, but not as easy for the Protoss because of that ramp that the Protoss can just kind of, you know, he's at the bottom of that ramp and the tanks are out and things like that. It's very frustrating. But in this case, he's already seen the 2 Rax, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So he might go for a fast expand himself. And look at that.
Oh, Bomber's a stand-up guy, though. All right.
He's a stand-up guy, man.
He's a stand-up guy. He's not going to go for any sort of all-in here.
Very true.
Unless he makes a 3rd barracks, then maybe yes. But no 3rd barracks yet. And there's a tech lab right away. This is generally the safer way to do a 2 Rax expand, just because if you make the tech lab first, it does leave you a bit vulnerable to Void Ray all-ins, and most Protoss players can defend that really early Marauder with slow push pretty easily. So this is the better way, quote unquote, to do it in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Yep. Get a lot more Marines. It does delay your command center a little bit, so that is, I guess, one reason to go for the tech lab first version of it. But you'll see most players going for the reactor first.
Yeah, the reactor first is definitely safe.
Yep.
The only thing about the reactor first that can be a little bit scary is if your opponent pokes with the zealot and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Then for like a second, things get a little bit weird, then you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
Yep. Well, until that first Marauder comes out,
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can do a couple little pokes with this. One is after your first Marauder, one is after the second Marauder. Bomber's going for the first Marauder poke. And nice thing about that is you can catch stalkers in the middle of the map like this.
One.
Slow's not done though, so he's not going to catch this one. Unless Sage turns it around. Unless the stalker decides to go out emo and suicide himself.
Well, we've got 3 gateways out for Sage. He's going to do a 3-gate pressure expand by the looks of it. Well, he wants to damage these units a little bit.
Oh, he's got to be so careful about moving up this ramp.
Yeah,
really
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. He should back up.
Oh, man. Oh, that was close.
That was a close call, man.
Not quite all over the ramp, but still pretty good. Yeah, it's just so nerve-wracking when you see that. Sometimes you can bait. What he's trying to do is bait the force field and hope that Sage doesn't warp in a second sentry, but he did. So he's just going to lose these units now.
Richard, nice sentry micro there, pulling that back. He wants to bait these units up again. They're not going to have it.
Yep.
He may actually decide to chase.
Yeah, he could. That's the danger with this, is that you will be chased down and killed by stalkers.
Yeah,
but
Bomber's
a lot of sentries out for Sage, though.
Yeah, he made a lot of sentries.
Yeah. Normally
now
you don't see that.
It's going to allow him to build up the minerals to make this Nexus right now. And he's actually so nervous. I think he thinks it's a 3 Rax. I think he may have misread this a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's being way too nervous. He should have actually chased those units and killed them. He shouldn't have warped in more sentries.
Well, it's hard to chase with that many sentries. That's what you're saying, is that normally most Protoss players would warp in a few more stalkers and then
that's
chase
exactly
them down.
what I mean, yeah.
Because then Terran's like, well, I guess I just lose everything, and I better build a bunker fast or this
game's
over.
Yeah, and if you lose everything like that, you have to make the bunker. Your command center can't be put on the low ground, and you get behind so bad. That's
still kind of happening to a certain extent.
Yeah,
he
I
is
would
chasing
agree.
Bomber back, but Bomber's going to be perfectly fine here. He's got plenty of time to get set up.
Even making a bunker.
Yep. He's going to be fine.
He's going to be totally fine. The Command Center is up way before the Nexus, but the Command Center cannot be put on the low ground safely at this moment. He's making it to an orbital right now. And, you know, like you said, he's got to make the bunker. He's got to go home. Wait for that sim to finish.
He's still okay. I mean, he lost a few units, but he didn't lose too many. He kind of lucked out. If Sage would have chased him, he would have lost, you know, like 3 more Marauders and like 6 Marines or something like that. That's when things get a little bit nerve-wracking, but as you can see, he'll be just fine here.
He's trying to bait units and trap them outside. I'm not entirely sure if I agree with that choice.
Yeah, that would be generally a bad idea. Bomber's going for Medivacs pretty quickly. He does tend to favor that rather than going for the Ghost Academy in this case.
Oh,
and
what is that?
He sees the Templar Archives. I think I saw him click on it right at the end there.
Yeah, he definitely did click on it. And I was kind of thinking he was going to make a Dark Shrine with this, just to put on a little bit of pressure and keep his opponent inside his base a little bit longer. Plus, he get the turn drop from that as well. But no, he's going to go for super fast Templar Archives, and this is something actually that Oz is known for doing, is getting that super fast Templar Archives, doing high Templar timings that no one's really seen before. But Sage is he's trying it out, man.
Well, it can be pretty good. The unfortunate thing is that it generally is better against a player that goes for that Ghost Academy because there's no Medivacs to heal with Bomber. I mean, if his micro's good, Storm actually isn't really too much of a worry.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And this is a little bit of an unusual choice. As you can see right now, Sage's army is pretty small. Bomber's army is much larger at this point, and you need to have a buffer for your High Templar. You can't just storm away.
Exactly.
You have to have a good buffer.
Well, you can't just like run up and feedback the Medivacs either, because then you'll lose all your Templar, and Medivacs regen energy. They can still drop units out of them. It's not exactly a big deal.
Yeah, this is a very risky decision by Sage, but you know, he's still up in supply. He's got a pretty good worker count. He's had his base up for much longer. In fact, right now the worker count is 45 to 29. It looks like, so that's even more of a disparity than I thought.
I'd almost kind of rather see him, or I should say, I'm almost a little bit surprised he's not just going for Archons. You know, he's got a lot of sentries, can force field the units and then kind of kill them with Archons. Then you also have to worry about your opponent lifting up the units and the Medivacs, of course, too. But either way, this is kind of how TVP is. You know, both players have a composition that's good against the other player's composition, and so in the end, it comes down to control.
Yeah, of course. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is the scary moment where that army hits Bomber's army, and it's not going to collide very well.
Now, is Sage going to spot the drop? Oh, I think he knows.
He knows, but he's not going to quite catch it. He does our probe here. He absolutely knows now.
He's going to Warriors have engaged the enemy. Yes, he is. And he needs to be careful here.
Oh, well, now these units can't retreat from the storms.
Yeah.
That was the best possible situation that could have happened there.
Yeah, a little bit lucky there by Sage catching those units like that. Worked out pretty well, but he's still got to worry about this drop. It is natural. And Sage is natural. There's actually a big drop going on. 2 Medivacs worth of stuff.
This is really bad
for Sage. Is it doing damage? We have no idea. Oh, I guess it is. All right.
And the target down the Nexus. Smartest choice he could have made.
I think he's going to get the Nexus too. Sage is way out of position. Oh, this is a nightmare. Those Zealots can't help at all. He's just going to go for it.
He is going to go for it. He does have a few storms. Bunker's not finished.
Oh, wow. This could turn into a bit of a crazy base race situation here, honestly.
Remember, with the Medivacs out, he has quite a few of them. That means he has a very mobile army. That's exactly what you want to have in the
He needs to lift.
Scenario. He lifts it.
All right, if he can go back,
absolutely get away.
Yeah, if he can go back and defend against this and retake his natural, he's actually going to be in such a great position. And that
especially if he can catch those units, but we'll see if Bomber wants to fight him like that. He's actually trying to break up the ramp here, which may end up working. Bomber not microing back.
Oh,
didn't want to lose. Didn't want to have the units in his base. So many SCVs are going to go down here. He doesn't have a lot to spare. The Archon is going to do so much damage.
Yeah, multiple Archons here. Is Bomber going to be able to take this? He does get 1 Archon. There's still 3 more in the base. So second one goes down. 2 Archons remaining, and I think Sage may actually have enough right here.
Yeah, he may have done it, man.
Yeah, this
more
is it.
Zealots coming in. He's going to trap him. Look at that, 20 supply up here. He's going to clean up these last forces.
Yep, this is it. Sage is going to win this game. Got a little bit
very unexpected way.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bomber was just caught out of position. It's a little bit of bad luck. This is how a lot of TVPs go, man.
What was that sentry? The 3 sentries, how he just trapped those units like that, that was something that you might tell your grandchildren about, man.
I guess
like,
so.
It was just one of those things where he's like, one time I had 3 sentries.
Yeah.
GG. He had 3 sentries, right? It was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. They kind of got caught out of position. I see his army, and he's like, well, I have some High Templar here. I'm going to make a Force Field Wall and Storm. And it was like, it's not the type of thing you tell someone like, oh, you know, I like what Sage does here. He tries to use his sentries to make Force Field Walls. It's like, no, of course that's not what he did, but that worked out, man. He caught a lot of those units.
You can be pretty sure that he wasn't expecting to see Storm right there. So now we've got actually 3 players at 1-1. We've got Sage, Bomber, and Koka all at 1-1. So things are still pretty even. It's kind of like we said, this is going to be the most even group yet. Our next game is going to be another ZVP Boom Boom Prime versus FXO Oz on Antigua Shipyard. Should be pretty cool, I would imagine.
Should be cool indeed, man.
Yep, your former teammate.
My former teammate.
So Oz.
Current friend.
Yep. He's a lot of fun to hang out with in real life. Like outside of StarCraft, he's actually one of the most fun pro gamers to hang out with.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's got a great personality. And he just loves the game. He loves to talk about strategy, and he's an innovator, a real innovator in a time when Protoss has needed one.
Yep.
All right, well, our map is Antigua Shipyard. I think we're gonna jump into it, man.
I think we're ready.